This tutorial is designed to help people who need to back up files or folders onto an external drive. On this particular example, and in this particular window, you'll see that I'm in my Finder, and in my Finder under Devices, you'll see something called iDisk, which we don't use, the hard drive itself. I've got an iPod attached, and I've got a flash drive, which in this case has not been given a name yet. It's just called no name. The great thing about backing up onto external flash drives is that you can basically drag and drop everything that you want to put onto a flash drive, and then it simply copies those items over onto whatever you want. In terms of the iPod, any iPod except the iPod Touch and iPhone can typically have disk use enabled. If you need to learn how to enable the disk use for your iPod, your best bet is to go onto the machine that your iPod talks to when it syncs its iTunes library and look under the device data and check the box that says Enable for Disk Use. If you have trouble with that, there's some great help tutorials inside of iTunes that will basically give you the steps you need to turn that on for your iPod. In this case, I have the iPod turned on for disk use, and so now when I connect it to my computer, I'm seeing all of the different folders that live on that iPod. Notice right now I don't have iTunes up and running. I can plug this iPod into any machine, and it will basically take whatever I want it to. It's a gigantic flash drive. In fact, this particular iPod has more disk space than most of the eMacs that we have in our building. So if I want to drag something onto the iPod, I would simply grab a folder, drag it onto there, and then you'll get a dialog box or a window that shows you basically your status as you're copying files. So now when I click back onto the iPod, you'll notice that the folder that I just sent over there is now residing on the iPod. I could do the same thing on this flash drive. This particular flash drive is the one that I was given at the beginning of the year with our staff handbook on it, so I need to leave that on there, but I'd like to move some other things onto there as well. So I'm going to go back to my desktop and I'm going to move over this particular folder. Just like other selections that you need to do in the Finder, you can either do them one at a time. If you have things that are in a list, you can click on the top item, hold down the Shift key, and then click on the bottom item, and it will select everything in between. Or you can hold down the Apple or the Command key to grab random items or folders. As soon as you drag one of those over, they all go. So if I drag these over to no name, if I click over on a no name, you'll now see the folder I dragged over earlier and these things that I just dragged over just now. If I want to delete things off of the flash drive, then it's the same way you would delete them off of your desktop or out of your documents folder. You can drag them to the trash. If you're on a mouse with two buttons, you can do move to trash, or you can hold down the Apple key and hit delete, and it will delete the item from wherever you're looking. So in this case, it's off of the flash drive. So I'm going to get rid of these two things as well. So I have a clean flash drive. I'm going to delete this. And from the iPod, I can do the same thing. If I don't want to have that folder on there, I can delete it, and then it goes away. And of course, whenever you delete something, to really get rid of it, you're going to want to empty the trash. If you need help backing up onto external drives, contact your tech person, and they'll be happy to help.